Sam the Stokey says they do realise that we aren't safe, right? Welcome back to Where Potters Walk. It's 20 minutes of Stoke City chat. And this week, after last week saying confidently that Stoke City are out of this race, typical Stoke City fashion, a week later, and here we are again with fans getting a little bit nervous, Liam. Leeds 6, Stoke 0. Who saw that coming? Probably you, actually. I don't imagine. Tell me Stoke aren't going down. It would take a mammoth set of results, wouldn't it?
It would. If you asked me on Good Friday after the Sheffield Wednesday result, I would say we were 100% safe. Unbelievable set of results at the weekend. On the Monday, everybody below us won, except Cardiff, and that was a screamer that Oxford scored that kept them at bay. There is a few teams in between us and the bottom three at least, so it is going to take quite a shift to get us down there. But if anybody can go down from this situation, it'd be us.
Yeah, the only team to ever go down on 50 points. And it'd be Stoke, wouldn't it? Right, Seb says, shoot Wilson Esperand with a BB gun 100 times, all in the same spot. Marv says that was like a non-league team taking on a Premier League team in the Cup. Awful. A lot of work to do if we still do stay up. It's a big summer. It's a big summer need. I didn't think the gap between Leeds and Stoke was that bad on Boxing Day. I mean, I know it was under Pelach and they did tear you one. Dan James did. But, did you look at that game and go, wow, we thought we had some work to do, but Leeds have just shown us just how much work we've got to do.
Yeah, I thought we'd put on a good showing. I thought we'd lose, but I thought we'd put on a good showing, at least make it difficult for them. We fell into the trap for some reason of this, as everybody does now in modern day football, of you're in a hostile ground, they're in party mode, their players are so up for it, it's unbelievable, and we are titting around with it at the back. Yeah. 3 of the goals come from our own mistakes to start with. And you just think, why wouldn't you just get it clear? You've got Al Hamadi up front, who's up there with one of the better forwards when it comes to chasing the ball down the channels. He's quick and strong. Why wouldn't you just kill the crowd? Be compact, get rid of the ball, have him chase some loose balls and work yourself into the game. But we shot ourselves in the foot against a team who were not only a high quality team, but who were right on it as well at the time.
Yeah, I mean, we can excuse losing to Leeds, but it's the manner, isn't it, of what that was done. And all of social media was like pointing out, as you've already said, Jack, saying pretty much every team below us is winning. The stars are aligning for us to go down. Luke saying just like that, we're right back in it. And our goal difference taking an absolute battering, which I haven't actually kind of looked at, to be honest, yet. Minus 15, which is worse than Preston's, worse than Hall's. It's worse than Derby County's as well, of course. You're yet to play. I mean, you're not nervous, are you?
I'm always nervous. It's a weird feeling. It's mixed emotions at the minute because if you take from the international break, I can't knock what the team and Robins have done. They've done exactly what they needed to up until this point. And then, like Stoke have done in recent years, when they finally got the crowd on the side, they had a full stadium against Sheffield Wednesday. They got the win. Yeah. Then they go and do this, and so I'm kind of with the team for what they've done since the international break. This game was a disgrace, but it makes you look all the way back to the start of just what a calamity the entire season's been, and that's kind of where I am at the minute.
Okay. Some goal against Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it, as well? Second one in particular.
Yeah.
We'll do your goal of the season in a second, so let's focus on that one. I feel harsh asking this, but his name came up again and again. Josh Wilson says, never play that Wilson Esperand again. I beg you. Coco says, we're absolutely deluded. We've won a couple of games, but we still performed really poor. Performance day is worthy of the boring negative diamond rather than losing his job. Not sure that came from a Stoke account. And certainly the only one I saw of that nature. All right, let's talk about Wilson Esperand then. Dropped a stinker, or does that sum up his season from the bits that you've seen him?
So he came in January and he's come in as a bit of an emergency signing because we lost both Eric Bocat and Ender Stevens, who we've lost both again, and Jordan Thompson then filled in, and he's out for the rest of the season. So we've literally got nobody who can play left back. Wilson Esbrand played 2 games. He had 2 poor games where he gave a penalty away against Portsmouth. And then he got injured and he's just come back. This is his first game back. But I've got to say it's one of the worst. I feel sorry for him because he's young. The entire back 4 was pretty young. But he was so far off it. It's unbelievable. And it wasn't even just lack of fitness. When players had gone past him, he gave up. And you're just thinking, you are not involved in this club at all. This relegation fight you do not want to be a part of, which is pretty telling, I think.
Yeah, can't fault well. You don't mind it if people don't have the athleticism, but the application people will not forgive, will they? Absolutely. No. All right then, Stoke aren't going down. I'm not having that this weekend.
I'm glad you are.
No, I talk to all the clubs. So you listen to Preston fans. It's Preston actually, out of nowhere.
I can't believe that. How do we lose 6-0 and they've ended up below us?
Absolutely, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, they've got Bristol City away as their last game of the season. Yeah, so Sheffield United come this weekend. Then does it help or not that they know what they've got to do now? We were asking them whether they're going to play the kids. In fact, the title of their video this week is "Should they play the kids at Stoke?" Their response to that was, "Yeah, we absolutely should." Wilder has categorically said no, he won't because he wants for some reason to get to 95 points, which I think says more about him than it does anything else. Does it help or not?
I think it will help in terms of, I don't think Wilder's the kind of guy who would put a youthful team out. I think he'd rather try and build some momentum before the playoffs start. It might help in the fact that some of their players might not be full-blooded into it, let's say. I don't think it should be from Stoke's point of view, but at this point in time, we are quite leggy now. It could be a bit of a on the beach kind of game where both teams just want to get through it. If Stoke get a point, they're officially safe. If Sheffield United get through it without any injuries or anything concerning happen, so that might help us out. But I just hope Stoke can get a point because we play on the Friday. So I hope we can get a point and then just knock it on the head and it's done and dusted.
Yeah. What sort of reception should Tom Cannon get, and what sort of reception do you think he will get?
I think Tom Cannon, he should get a fine reception. I don't think he actually wanted to go. He probably wanted the move. Bear with me, sorry, my camera's just gone off. He probably wanted the move, but I don't think it was his choice. Leicester bought him back and sold him. He still likes and players who he's played with, pictures on Instagram from Stoke players and what have you. I'm more concerned about the reception Tyrese Campbell will get because I quite liked Tyrese. I quite liked him when he was here. And it was the right time for him to go, but there seems to be a lot of animosity towards him now. So I hope they can
where's that come from? I was going to ask you about
that. I think when he came, there was a lot of hope, and he had a really, really good start. He got a horrendous injury, and he played in some poor sides with us. I really liked him. I thought he was fine. At times in games, you could question if he was full-blooded and if he was fully invested at times. But he was fine for me. I just think people were expecting him to be a lot better than he was, and the injuries dragged him down. And like I said, he played in some really poor squads. He's got into a good squad now, and he seems to be reaping the rewards of that. So hopefully we can just get through the game without it bubbling over too much.
All right. Good stuff. It is the last game, of course, this season at the Bet365. So we need to look back on this season. I mean, it's been a strange. If you think about, it, we started with Schumacher and then went through Pellets, and now here we are on a Friday night with Matt Robbins. What's been your favourite home moment? If you can.
Beating Portsmouth 6-1 under Pallet was good. QPR beating 3-1 at home under Robbins, that was a good performance. Since the new year, we have been pretty decent at home. We've only lost 1 at home, and that was against Middlesbrough, where they absolutely battered us 3-1. So it's been a lot more enjoyable going to home games since the new year than it has been for a while, to be fair. So, that's
full teams, weren't Yes,
Yeah,
Stoke
yeah,
are one of the 4 teams up to win the Leeds one. Which people don't give credit for. Good stuff. Finally, then, help us out with this in the comments. Let us know the goal of the season. What is the strike? I know Baker's probably going to get this against, was it Swansea or Millwall? I can't remember which one it was. But aside from that, what other good strikes have you seen?
You know what? It really blanked my mind thinking about it, because there's not a lot of goals we've scored where it was like an unbelievable one. Obviously, the Baker one from the halfway line. I quite enjoyed Junior Shamadou's first and only goal against QPR, where he volleyed it from the edge of the box with his wrong foot. That was quite a good moment, because I think he's really turned a corner. I think if you remember on the pod, for a good while he was getting a bit of stick. And I kept saying, like, he was young and he's learning the league, got to give him time, and he's really started to perform now. So that was quite a good moment. Apart from that, there's nothing that really stands out as in like a worldy goal.
Yeah. Do you think Baker's going to win the goal of the season from the EFL? Does it deserve to?
I don't think so. I don't think halfway line goals should do, in my opinion. I think
it's more fluke than skill.
I not fluke, but I think any professional footballer worth his salt, if the goalkeeper's on his line, should be able to get it on target, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas, goals for me, the goal of the season. Can you remember Brad Potts a few seasons ago when he did that scissor kick
for
Preston? That's the kind of goal for me that should win goal of the season in a league, not one from the halfway line. I used to watch Charlie Adam try it week in, week out, so I just used to that.
Charlie Adam, God. Right. I forget. All right. Thank you. Thanks very much. Just finally, Leeds and Burnley were promoted this week. Was that the right result for you in terms of best 2 teams you've seen?
I think so. I think Burnley were quite poor when we played them at their place, but we could only draw. I mean, you can't argue with that defence, can you? Obviously conceded about 15 goals. And then Leeds have, apart from slipping up on the odd away game, they've been pretty dominant all season, haven't they? So there's a chance they can get 100 points in there still.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just shows that's pretty dominant. If you're picking up 100 points in any league, I will say it's against quite a poor league, in my opinion, and that's coming from a team who's right down there and watches crap most weeks. I'd say, in general, the quality of the league's quite poor. But, yeah, I don't think anybody else deserved to go up as the top 2 other than them.
Yeah. And when you consider that we're losing Leeds and Burnley and we're gaining Southampton and a Leicester side that are going to start on what we understand to be quite significant negative points, do you think it's going to get even poorer next season?
It's a really good chance of it golfing that. Oh, I mean, you saw it when Ipswich went up last season. They pretty much sucked all the quality out of the Championship. They signed a dream team of Championship players. So that's what will happen now. And the problem is that quality of Championship players is still not good enough to make a dent in the Prem. So there's a good chance that everybody Ipswich sign, if they come down, gets signed by everybody who went up. And we're just rinse and repeat now. Luckily, Stoke don't have to bother with that. We can just sit between 16th and 14th every season.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, when you sign a centre back in the summer for money, we want fireworks. From the booth and end. We want a light show and everything. Oh, it's a light show on Friday. Oh my God!
Yeah.
No, or will it be? Because it would be
it's not
dark enough for a light show.
They'll still try. 8 o'clock kickoff. It should be just dark enough.
Right, final light show this season. Brilliant, love it. Right, enjoy the game then, Liam. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week for the final one as we look ahead to go to the final game of the season against Derby. Let's hope it doesn't mean anything for either club. It could be a boring one. Cheers, Liam. Catch you next week.
Cheers,
Thanks
mate.
so much.